Welcome back, guys, to a black episode of Sigma Footy. This week has been a lot of bad news and unpredictable events taking over, around all of our entire society, especially the football community itself. So, two shocking news came about this week. One was the death of Vivek, who is an actor in the India Tamil industry. He was one of my childhood comedians that I used to adore in my younger days, even including now itself. His comedies come with a bit of social message. It was sad that we learned that he passed away recently, early this week. On top of that, came a blast or a blow to all the football fans around the world, which was the announcement of the European Super League, which took a toll from all walks of or all people in football, whoever sees football as a way to escape from their routine days, take it as a passion of life. It impacted us so much and everything. Till today, we still can't comprehend what's happening and what is yet to happen. It's another question to be asked. So as a significant to it, all of us have came in black today to signify it is really severe on how it is being seen or portrayed in the news medias and everywhere. Before we dwell into a lot more deep, right? Let us take a moment to embrace the emotions around that's going about. So let me start off on Kevin. Kevin, how do you feel upon the announcement? What was the emotions that's running through you? What was your reaction towards it upon hearing the announcement of European Super League?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, we got to ban them, and it's just really disappointed that the owners are just going for money, and there's no value to the fans, which I think they understand where they do get the money from. We are the ones, or the fans, I would say, are the ones who are really watching and spending on it. So
Hmm.
that's how they earn. But looking at it, I think no one bothers about it, and they want to prioritize on money. So
Hmm.
so we as a fan, I think it's definitely a black day, not only to us, but to everyone in the whole world who's watching football,
Hmm.
especially who loves this club. Like for example, Arsenal, I don't even understand why they are there. That's one thing. But yeah, so the owner is rich. We can't say no to that. But this is definitely started. I we heard about this. I think it was just a random talk, but a year or 2 years ago from Arsene Wenger.
Uh,
But no one expected it to take place like so fast, and no one
Hmm.
expected this to happen. Definitely,
To see the light, yes.
yeah. But yes, the players got to come up. I think some of the coaches now and managers are trying to go against it, but money rules. So
Hmm.
looking at it, hope fan power can do something.
Hmm.
A massive impact from people who's watching the game, our passionate football fans who I think will lose passion after this if this happens.
Yep,
We got
that's
to
right.
we got to prove something. I think there's no point of it. Mm,
Well,
yeah,
that was well said, Kevin. No, that's the exact emotion that we see around us, around the football community. Well, before we go more, right, let us first know what exactly triggered this emotion. So, what is exactly this Super League actually, Ivan? So, yeah, please let us. Why is all this emotion, being churned out? How bad is this Super League?
okay,
yeah,
it's actually this owners, playing monopoly in the world of football. So it's basically like, for example, like the La Liga. Okay, if you take fans outside of Spain, right? Okay, I would say 80 to 90% are Barca and Real Madrid fans watching the La Liga,
Hmm.
right? But the profit is shared by all those clubs involved in La Liga. So this is what the owners from these clubs, they want to maximize the profit actually. So the idea is, we break away from the rest and maximize our profit, because the margin will be lesser. Okay, it will be shared by a lesser quota. Yeah, so
Okay.
they can get a bigger piece of the cake. Yeah, so same thing in Premier League. Okay, they feel, we can see that the Super League is form not based on the current merit. Okay, like teams like, sorry to say, but Arsenal, Spurs. At least Arsenal have the history, but Spurs, why Spurs, right? So we can clearly see that these are the teams with the most fan base, big fan base going into this, because they know that whatever it is, fans is going to watch. So it's down to us now as fans to stand up and take account into this and like stop this from happening. Yeah, so it's been really stressful. So many things have unfold in less than 24 hours. It's like very shocking to see, and it's really frustrating, man. Really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was clear, Ivan. I'm hearing on Super League being formatted in such a way to compromise the current Premier League format, and not to give hindrance to the current competitions like Premier League, I mean local domestic leagues, and also the European Cups, Champions League, of course. How well is that compromise going about? Do you think is that a good way forward? Compromising, making sure all the league runs, so that will make Super League as an additional competition into the picture. What's your take from it? How do you see this?
Yeah, actually, when this was talked about, right? Actually, like for more than I think 2 years ago. Okay, but we all thought as fans, right? Maybe it's something like an extra tournament, like how the Nations League is. Something that will come in the summer. Okay, just a separate tournament. Okay, just for them to just dwell in it and have extra income. But we didn't expect this. Teams breaking away from the domestic league. I mean, domestic league, especially Premier League, right? Premier League is what we Asians watch the most, and it's so. Why you watch it is because of the unpredictability every weekend. Okay, things like, for example, when Mourinho was there in Chelsea, their amazing Stamford Bridge record was ended by a team like Sunderland. Okay, past 3 seasons, Anfield was a fortress, but which team ended that? Not City, not Chelsea, not United, but a team like Burnley ended it. This season, you should know, as a Chelsea fan, Tuchel came in, he was dominating, but who ended it? A relegation team. West Brom went there and scored 5 goals. So this is what we fans, like what you said, football is used by most fans as an escapism, something for them to look forward to after their hectic week. But this is being taken out. The real true heart and soul of the game is being taken out. Okay, and me personally as a United fan, I'm really very ashamed of this. Okay, like what Gary Neville said, United, Liverpool, Arsenal, these 3 teams, the teams with the most history and heritage. I mean, they are from that country. They understand what this game really means for those fans there. But even these 3 teams are on board on this. So it's like really shocking. And yes, as my time as United fan, I've really enjoyed all the times we have won, become champion. But one of the seasons that is my personal favorite is when Leicester won it. Because when Leicester won it, it was a victory for all football fans. And I believe all football fans feel the same way. And through Leicester, right, we saw players like Wadi, Kante, these players who came from the street. Okay, they're not from wealthy families who were able, to just send them to the academy and come up through that. They have to come through the back door, the other way. And, they make Leicester won the league. And Kante, because of Leicester, Kante found his way into the national team and ended up winning the World Cup. So this is what, we are going to miss all this. So, I mean, like the Super League, every week is going to be big teams facing each other, multiple of big games every weekend. Is that going to be something, like, for example, World Cup, if World Cup is played every year, will it be as special as it is now? I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. It's only interesting when we see Chelsea versus Real Madrid, once in a while come to the spot after facing through a lot of hurdles. A change in the managerial position, tactics, and all that. It makes so interesting. It makes so much to look forward to. But every other weekend, having that just kills off the curiosity in curiosity aspect of the game.
The anticipation, yeah.
Yes, exactly, the anticipation. So I do agree that on your point, Ivan. Coming to you, Kevin, how do you see this impact to your team as an Arsenal fan? How do you see this as an impact to the fans, the club, the players, and even the manager?
Yeah, talking about Arsenal, I guess everyone knows that Arsenal is currently in a bad shape, and they are trying to build up the squad. But yeah, when the owner can't spend money on the whole squad currently, most of the time, when they needed it, but they are now doing it in a different way. Main reason why is because of the COVID pandemic. So that's where the owner lost, and they're trying to gain back the money. So they know maybe people can't come to the stadium and watch the game. So they're trying to make this as a. I know the tournament money is big, as it 350 million and so on. So as a owner, their focus is definitely on money. And looking at it, I would say Arsenal players they are not. They have to go against it, and manager they have to voice out. But what happens if you voice out? I guess that what happened to Spurs, Jose Mourinho, who recently got fired immediately right after, I guess within 24 hours after the news being announced, which is he has a final this weekend, upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
And this just happened right before it. Spurs wanted a cup, and looking at it, they should probably just fail it. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp. So the rumors are spreading as well. So yeah, maybe the managers can make a say, and players, it's very hard to be. I would say they can't decide things like earlier I was discussing Ivan. Say agents control most of it, and even though they want to go to other clubs, like big players, how can they survive at other clubs, and who's going to pay them? This is a part of it, but this is the advantage for the owners to take and forcefully have to make them play in a European Super League, which probably no one's interested. It will definitely be boring if we keep on seeing a repeated of big games, which we want to avoid. That the interest of the game it'll be missing. Like how we say UEFA Champions League, who's going to meet who? How eager we are to talk. Oh, okay, both have a different tactical from different leagues, different from Spanish and English Premier League, and from many other places. Lucky German squads and German league teams are not here. That's one of the things that we can respect for them. But who knows what will happen in sometime sooner or later. We never know yet.
True.
But yeah.
That was well said. Two things have been going on around football community this week. One was all over on European Super League, saying no to it, fans' reaction, players' reaction, managers' reaction, pundits, everyone. And another side was all the Arsenal trolls, man. No, not a joke here, but it's just it was something at least to take my mind off from all the negativity that was going around with this Super League announcement, to be honest.
Arsenal bottom of the league. Understand?
Yeah, just to add on that, right? I believe Arsenal is there because of the owner, okay, the American owner, and he treats Arsenal like just to be honest, just like his side business. I think he has other businesses back in the States, right? I mean like different sports. So I feel Arsenal, all these clubs, right? Okay, actually, really comes down to the owners issue. I think the manager, the players are all hard done by, and especially the fans. And guys, we have to talk about the Spurs team. I mean, how can Spurs, right? First of all, they should be very grateful and lucky to have Mourinho. And I'm really feel so sad that disgusted that you can treat Mourinho like this and sack him just days before the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah.
I mean, because of this, I really hope they will lose. They will lose this final, and it's so obvious, right? Because Spurs, they build a new stadium, and what happened after that? The pandemic came, and they consider they have no idea how to back it up. So that is why they are in this tournament. Yeah.
The league, when they announced the Super League, right? They announced that it will be fully governed by the 15 founding clubs. And 5 more clubs that will qualify to the league. But the 15 founding clubs would retain its position by default itself. And one of the yes, exactly. And like you said, Ivan, it was coming all the way from the owners and the influence towards the money part of the football, I would say, rather than football itself. But even when we talk in that aspect, right, Milan income generation in Italy league compared to a Sheffield United in Premier League, there's no match to it. So even if you talk about money, Sheffield United in Premier League and Crystal Palace in Premier League are making more money than Milan. So then how does it even make sense? Also, how is it? This really seems like the pinnacle of favorism and it's like literally there's no competition in this.
Yeah, this is because right, Premier League has the most widest fan base. I mean, the most of Asia watch Premier League. So this is why even though you finish 17, 18, 19, you can earn more than maybe the Bundesliga winners or the French league winners. And in the Champions League, right, the one thing the clubs want to do now is bypass UEFA. Okay, because the Champions League revenue, right? Okay, part of it UEFA will take. So the clubs just want to bypass this body and just get it all for themselves. And that's why they give six teams from the Premier League, because they know Premier League brings in most of the fans. So the Perez, right, the mastermind of this whole thing, he's not an idiot. I mean, he's a very good businessman. So this is his way of doing this, and he's claiming that this is saving football. He's trying to just to brainwash all of us that saying we are in debt and this is the way forward. Change is need. I mean, like, we all should adapt to change. Yes, we understand all that, but it really just takes away the whole purpose of football. Why fans are truly following football. And Perez, he has the guts to actually say that if UFA stop these players from participating in Euro and World Cup, we will create our own World Cup. I mean, like, what is that? Like,
Yeah,
it's like
arrogance.
total
Everything is just
discrimination
money.
against
I'll
the
just create a
fans.
new league.
Total
Nothing.
disrespect, man. Yeah.
Yeah. But to add on to it, what I would say, it's a good thing that I know. Definitely, we know UEFA also. UEFA is definitely making money out of it. But yeah, they are taking I'll say a stern decision to like ban the players. I mean the teams and whoever are playing or joining the European Super League. And we know that there's going to be an interesting semi-final and final upcoming as well. So this definitely, I think, kills the interest of us to continue watching. And what's the point of it? That's the only question. If this really happened, so yeah, it's definitely going to be a sad, difficult part for the fans, I would say.
Yeah, that was great actually. Yeah, I can really feel you guys how frustrated it is. I think it's all over. It's all over. Not only us, it's all over the world as well. With the pandemic already blowing on us, giving us tough time, even at our jobs, halting us in our progress. And next thing we look after is a small entertainment in life, and one of it for at least for the three of us coming together in this channel was football. And seems like money, it's an irony, it's the fans who actually willingly went and bought all the tickets, paid even higher as they raise the tickets. It's through us that this money came from, and the pool of money grown bigger as more fans came into the pool and agreeing to all the increment of prices and times of watch and TV rights and everything. And today it's going against the fans itself. It's really
Yeah.
sad to see. It's really speechless on how the governing bodies around football is acting to it, reacting to it, and all. Uh, Definitely,
We are the dummy pieces. Yeah.
exactly.
We are just the pawns in the chessboard. We are just the
Exactly.
pawns.
Exactly. And really, to a certain extent, right, it can kill football itself, and we can't say how it's going to look like moving forwards. It's either moving forward, it's going to be plastic all over. Meaning to say that the fans, the future fans, it's all going to be more. It's no more the game. It's towards favorism and just pure biasness instead of the game itself.
Yeah. It's becoming so commercialized.
Exactly. There's a saying, nothing is too good when it's done too much. So I think even football, I think money in all the matters, we have corruption. It's becoming norm. It's becoming a norm in the world, and now it's coming to the least area where they expect, where they unites people and cultures around the world. sports.
Yeah. Like many who don't really follow football, right? They are saying why we football fans are making a big fuss out of this. But one thing, they don't really feel what we are feeling now is because we've been watching the Premier League. Okay, we all especially Premier League for almost like every weekend for the past 10, 15 years. And this whole idea and concept, the format, everything is going to change. Imagine the 6 teams not in the Premier League. I mean, that's like a big blow. How we can just, act like nothing has happened and not get, our emotions not to get affected by this is like really impossible, man.
Exactly. Well, that was a good discussion, guys. I think that really showed, at least from our side, our emotions towards the announcement that was made earlier this week. Definitely a bad day, black day for football, and then we'll see how it goes. And not much disappointed, to be honest. Even not sure to expect. Looking forward for all the future games for at least completing the season or not as well.
Yep.
But thanks, guys. We'll see you again.
Right.